Hello friends, I'm Tim Wildsmith, and in this video we're going to be taking a closer look at the all-new NLT personal size Quentel from Schuyler Bibles. Okay, right here I have one of the very first copies of the all-new NLT PSQ from Schuyler Bibles. Now, when this Bible was announced, I think I talked about this in my 2024 Exciting Bibles That Are Being Released video at the very beginning of the year. I think a lot of people were excited about this Bible because it was going to be a great, smaller, premium NLT Bible based on the full-size NLT Quentel. But then, this Bible became one of the most talked about Bibles in the premium Bible world when I did a video a couple weeks ago, maybe it's 3 or 4 weeks ago now, with these right here. Schuyler sent me these signatures, these sections of the pages from both the NLT Personal Size Quentel, that's what this Bible is, as well as the ESV Personal Size Quentel, the new edition that's getting released very soon. And we found out that these Bibles were increasing in size. This is the new NLT PSQ. This is the old size of the PSQ. If you missed that video that I did where I talked about the change in size from the personal size Quentels, you got to go check that out because I explain in that video why Schuyler is doing that, why they're changing the size of the Bibles, what all of that, everything that happened behind the scenes to make that happen. It's very, very fascinating. Now, a lot of you responded to that video and were so excited, like me, because this is a bigger Bible. This is a bigger Bible. I've got one right here. So that's the pages they sent me for the regular size Quentel. Here is an older PSQ. Look at how much bigger that is. It's a bigger Bible than the old PSQ. It's still called the personal size Quentel, which I think is a little bit confusing. I would call it the mid-size Quentel, but they're still calling it the PSQ. It's slightly bigger. I, for one, am excited about that because I love this slightly larger Bible. Huge fan of the PSQ. One of my all-time, probably my all-time favorite personal size Bible. And it's available in a bunch of different translations. And right now, the only ones that are getting bigger are the NLT and the soon-to-be-released ESV. I do not know if Schuyler is going to, again, you got to watch that video to hear all of the reasons why. I don't know if they're going to redesign all of the other translations, but currently it's still the small size in the CSB, the NKJV, the NIV, let's see here, the NASB, even the personal size Canterbury in the KJV. They're all still this smaller size. It's only the NLT and the ESV that are slightly increasing, but I'm really excited about this. I think that it's exciting. Now, some of you were kind of lamenting the fact that you're worried that the smaller size is going to go away permanently. I just don't know if that's true yet or not. I don't know if they're going to do that with everything or just a few of them, but I've got one of the first copies of this one. So what I'm going to do is do an overhead video. I'm going to walk you through this Bible, and then we're going to do some comparisons. We're going to compare to the PSQ. I have a full YAP version as well as a standard YAP version, so we can see that. We're going to compare it to the full-size NLT Quentel that I have with the full YAP, as well as I brought along an NASB Quentel that doesn't have the full YAP, so you can kind of see the old difference. We're going to do a big comparison video / review of this new Bible. I'll be honest with you. I was going to make this an unboxing video, and I messed the video up. It's a really long story. So the unboxing video got messed up, but one of the benefits of that is that I have had a chance to spend a couple of days with this Bible. I got so frustrated that I was like, I'm done recording. So I've actually gotten a couple days to really spend time with this Bible. And the first impressions from the unboxing video were this. I loved the leather cover. They sent me the olive green calfskin edition, this incredible German aniline calfskin that they've been using with this color. This one right here, the chestnut, is that same leather. They're also doing they do the desert camel, the lighter brown version. I think they're doing a blue in this kind of leather, which I'm excited to check that out. Anyway, I love the leather, everything about that. But then the size of it and the layout and comparing it to the smaller one, it just, for me, this Bible is a home run. For me, I'm about to say something pretty big here. Ready? This is my favorite Schuyler Bible ever. I'm going to say it. This to me is the best thing that they have ever done in part because it's slightly bigger. It's still an 8.5 point typeface. It's still everything we know about the Quentel, but this middle size, very similar to the Traveris, but with this typesetting of the Quentel, the modern drop, just everything about what happened with the NLT Quentel, which I really loved, made slightly smaller, but not super small, in this Bible just turned out fantastic. It's just really, really cool. So me personally, I think that this is an absolute home run. So now we're going to do an overhead video. I'm going to show you what this Bible is all about, and I'm going to show you how it compares to some other things. This is the NLT PSQ from Schuyler Bibles. Okay, quick look at the box. NLT personal size Quentel, olive green, calfskin, full yap, lovely clamshell box, everything wrapped up inside there. And there is the Bible itself. I love this German aniline calfskin that they've been using. Has so much character to it. Very, very interesting. There you see the Jerusalem cross on the cover. It's got a perimeter stitch around the outside and a tooled line when they do the full yap. If it doesn't have a full yap, it's just going to have the perimeter stitch. On the spine, you've got Holy Bible, NLT. I talked about this on social media that they did NLT on this edition instead of New Living Translation written out. They've been trying this out with a few new Bibles. I like that a lot. There's Schuyler, their logo, raised spine hubs, very clean. This one comes with 2 green ribbons, so 2 double-sided ribbons on the PSQs. It's got red under gold art gilding. Check their website because it'll have a different color combination for some of the Bibles, but the standard is red under gold. There you see it says calfskin leather cover, gold gilt line, brown leather liner. There's the edge-lined tab in there. These are made at Royal Youngblood in the Netherlands. Very, very nice and classy. Okay, so big thing about this is the size. So the size of the NLT PSQ is 5.4 inches wide by 8 inches tall. 5.4, the old ones were 4.7, so it's 0.7 inches wider, and it goes from 7.1 to 8, so almost an inch taller. It's still actually pretty thin. This is about, the text block's about an inch thick, but with the cover and everything, it's just over an inch and a quarter thick. So it's really nice. The size is just fantastic. So let's just walk through this one a little bit and then we'll do the comparisons. So you've got presentation page from Schuyler. These all look the same the last few years. This Bible was presented to, by, and on. You've got marriages, family records, births, deaths, and then you get into the Holy Bible. So the NLT version has a really kind of modern type of font right there on the title, and they're going to be using this for the drop caps as well. So here's the copyright information from Tyndale. There you see that it says printed and bound by Royal Youngblood in the Netherlands, typesetting by 2K Denmark. They're using French paper. The Bible maps are Schuyler's own. Some of the best maps in the business. We'll see what they look like in this new size. A note to readers. This is your preface to the NLT, all of that. Bible translation team. And then we get into the text of Scripture itself. So Genesis, that's that kind of modern font. And then they use something similar. And let's see if I can get that to focus. The drop caps. Do you see the 2 lines in there? Absolutely gorgeous. So this is an 8.5 point Milo typeface. The same as the old PSQs. It's the same size typeface. Again, they increased the page size, but the type size is the same. You get red accents on the page, and you get your textual footnotes and your translation and your cross-references at the bottom of the page. So red accents for those drop caps, for the little lines on the page. You're going to get red accents for the page headers. There you get those little swords in there. So the 2, that's chapter 2. Now, and then the red there in the cross-reference. I'll show you what it used to look like in some of the old ones. They had a big number there. They didn't have that. But it's a very, very clean, kind of modern look. I love these drop caps in the NLT because they look different than the ones in the ESV, which I think is good. They look different than the ones in the KJV, which I think is good that they did that. So really nice and easy to read. Let me just kind of open this up. This Bible lays really nice and flat. It's very comfortable to read, and it's just, like I said, kind of more of a mid-sized Bible, not quite as small as the previous PSQ size. You get a verse-by-verse poetic typesetting in Psalms and Proverbs and other poetic sections of the Bible. There you see a page like in Psalms, I'm in here, 47 through 50, where you get 4 different drop caps on the page or on the spread because there's 4 different chapters that you're getting And that just looks really nice. It looks great. It's still going to be, I don't think they did red letter in the NLT Quentel. Yep, still black letter in the New Testament. Very, very consistent all the way through. I think the paper looks great. It's 28 GSM paper. The typesetting is line matched. You're not having to worry about a bunch of show through on the page. They've actually made the typesetting or the font slightly bolder in these than some of the previous editions. So I think it's very comfortable to read, and it kind of leaps off the page. It's a very, very nice typesetting, very nice design. A kind of classic 2-column reference Bible, but the fact that they put the references down here on the bottom of the page really makes it stand out and kind of be its own thing as opposed to in between the 2 columns. You are getting a concordance with this Bible. So Revelation here ends on page 1426, and then you go straight into the concordance. It's a 3-column concordance. I could be wrong, but I want to say that the previous, let me find this, I'm in the NIV now, the previous personal size Quentels did not have a concordance in them. They just had lined paper and maps. Let me check the CSB edition. I'm going to bring these back in a moment. Yeah, it went straight in. So you're getting a concordance in the back of this. That's something, I don't know if they've been marketing that, but they put a concordance in the back of this one, which is nice. You still get that lined notebook paper back here, also nice. And then you get the incredible Schuyler Bible maps, which are just fantastically done. So that's cool. I didn't know we were getting the concordance in the back. So this is a full-on reference Bible. It's just exact same thing as the larger version, the full-size Quentel, but just slightly smaller. Okay, so 5.4 by 8. Now let me bring in. Now this is going to look even more stark. This is my new NIV personal size Quentel. This is not a full Yap edition. So there you have the perimeter stitch around the side without that tooled line. So this Bible looks bigger than it actually is because it has the full Yap. So that's the difference between NLT PSQ versus the NIV PSQ. Again, they have the same size 8.5 point typeface, but they're just a different page size. Now, if I bring in, this is a CSB edition that I have that's full Yap. So here we go, real quick. These 2 Bibles are the same trim size. It looks bigger because of the full Yap. Does that make sense? But when you show them, they're actually, I just flipped it around so you can see, it's the exact same page size. This is the old standard, I guess, PSQ size. Then you pull in this. So that's a better look at the size difference between the 2. So it's different. It's bigger. Like I said, it's 7/10 of an inch wider, and it's about 9/10 of an inch taller. But it's not like crazy bigger. Does that make sense? Now, again, there's no industry standard for what you can call personal size. So I would argue that this is a mid-size Bible, but they're calling it personal size because it's the same concept. But that's the overall difference. They are making editions of the NLT PSQ that do not have full Yap. So they're going to be even smaller than this when you're looking at them. Does that make sense? So that's the comparison. And then just to show you the inside, they have done with the NLT, they did this with the Quentel. They've done the drop caps with, you see the chapter headings there, the little 10 with those spears, whereas the old one, they just had the numbers up there. Again, this is CSB, not NLT. They've only ever done the NLT like this, but it's the same size. The page is just slightly bigger. And then we can compare it to, I have the full size. This is the full size, full Yap NLT Quentel. So this is the first time they did the NLT Quentel a couple years ago. There you see, it looks exactly the same. It's going to be a larger page, but it's going to be a 10-point typeface instead of an 8.5. So let me just open this up, page 562. There you go. Just a mini-me version of the exact same typesetting. So if you have the NLT Quentel and you want a slightly smaller version, you can have the exact same pagination is what it's called, because they took this and they just shrunk it down a little bit to this. So 10-point on the full-size Quentel, 8.5-point on the new personal size Quentel. Everything else is going to be the same. It's the same 28 GSM paper. It's the same typesetting. It has the maps and the concordance and all that stuff in the back of it. Does this one have lined paper in the back as well? Concordance, lined paper, Bible maps. So it's literally the same thing, very, very consistent. You just get a smaller version. And then whereas this is the I brought in the NASB Quentel just so you could kind of see. Same thing with the other one. They used to do the numbers instead of the drop caps. This was an 11-point typeface. So that's what spurred it all on. Again, watch that video I did comparing the pages. They decided to redesign, well, when they did the NLT and the RSV, they just started with a 10-point. Now they've redesigned the ESV to look more like these. But really, really fantastic. And overall, they turned out great. So yeah, NLT, personal size Quentel. Slightly larger overall than the previous PSQs, but still the 8.5-point typeface. Turned out great. So there you have it, the NLT personal size Quentel from Schuyler Bibles. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this. And if you'd like to order one, I'm going to put a link in the video description to where you can see all the different colorways and whether it's full yap or standard yap, that sort of stuff. You can find all of that on their website. For those of you who have pre-ordered one, I'm recording this video and releasing this video about a week or so before they expect those to arrive, and they're going to be starting to ship them out. So definitely check that out. And I'm also going to put a link in the video description to where you can watch my video where I talked about the changes and the differences between the different trim sizes of these Bibles. If you want to geek out a little bit, you should definitely check that video out. I'll also put links to my playlist for all of my Schuyler Bible videos. They make tons of great Bibles, lots of different translations, and I have reviewed a bunch of them. So surf around my channel, watch those videos. Let me know what you see that interests you. As always, I'm going to take photos of this Bible and post them on Instagram and Facebook, so please come find me on social media and say hello. And if you enjoyed this video, click that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got a ton of great Bible content here on YouTube because I want to help you find a Bible that's right for you. These Bibles are not cheap. They're expensive Bibles, but they're incredibly high quality. And if you're going to make a purchase like this, I want you to be informed. I want you to get a good look at it. That's why I create these videos. Shout out to my friends at Schuyler. Thank you for sending this to me, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.